today is our third lesson of the study of the subject, selling the travel and tourism products and services. The topic for today is selling dreams and expectations. Last session's 4 topics are range, concept, and key characteristics of tourism products and services, and the differences between products and services. Today we study 4 more topics: selling dreams, selling images, selling emotional benefits, and managing expectation and satisfaction. These will form parts of the 8 learning outcomes of this course. It has often been said, selling holidays is like selling dreams. My first question is, why is this? Let us look at some of the dream products first. Dream kitchen, dream car, a dream wedding, dream cruise holiday. Considering the current COVID-19 situation, what do you think your dream holiday destination is in 2020? These images give us a hint from the supply side of the tourism industry. Dream destination is a term frequently appearing at tourism destination marketing promotions and many luxury products and services. These images communicate the messages of the products and services that are often intangible, luxurious, far away, and difficult to obtain. Therefore, they are designed to evoke internal emotions and feelings and stimulate interests and expectations to potential customers. Dream in the context of marketing is all of those products and services to which we feel drawn because in the end their emotional link to our imagination transcends their functional purpose. This will be based on the perceived tourism destination images (TDI) of the individual. By definition, TDI refers to a set of impressions that individuals have about a place where they do not live. It is composed of 3 components: cognitive, affective, or conative components. The cognitive component refers to the tourist's beliefs and knowledge of the tourism destination. The affective component is represented by the feelings or emotional responses to the place's characteristics. The conative component is the tourist's behavioral manifestation and can be understood as probability of consumption. This conceptualization fits the definition given by UNWTO we studied in the previous session. According to this definition, tourism products have 4 key elements. 1. Could be tangible and intangible. 2. Are marketable. 3. Have a product life cycle. Visitor experience is a part of the product which is based on emotional aspects. Travel has always been an experience, facilitated by the services provided by travel companies, but in recent years, it had been advocated by travel experts that it should be a time to move forward from the era of services, customer experience-based services, to the post-experience economy, allowing travelers to stumble upon new, unanticipated discoveries. This self-determination will be key to the post-experience economies as travelers become co-creators. The growth of more tailor-made holidays, dynamically packaged holidays, signifies this shift. Post-experience means leaving the era of services to gradually reach a new level of supply and demand relationships which are increasingly based on emotional and sensorial aspects, such as dreams, memories, expectations, and perceptions.
Starry, starry night. Flaming flowers that brightly blaze, swirling clouds of violet haze, reflecting Vincent's eyes of china blue, colors changing hue. Morning in fields of amber grain, weathered faces lined in pain are soothed beneath the artist's loving hand. Now I understand what you try to say to me, and how you suffered for your sanity, and how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now, for they could not love you. Still love was true, and when no hope was left inside on that starry, starry night, you took your life as lovers often do. But I could have told you, Vincent, this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. Starry, starry night, portraits hung in empty hall, frameless heads on nameless walls, with eyes that watch the world and can't forget, like the strangers that you've met. The ragged men in ragged clothes, the silver thorn of bloody rose, lie crushed and broken on the virgin snow. Now I think I know what you try to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, and how you try to set them free. They would not listen, they're not listening still. Perhaps they'll never will.
What do the viewers say about Vincent van Gogh Museum? In viewing the images, the viewers commented strongly on the sensorial aspects of the images, such as color, sound, and strong emotional benefits the images evoked, such as feeling mesmerized, magical, alive, nostalgic, imaginary, perceptions, and so on. These images are not necessarily created with the intent to lure people to visit the location, but they have significant pulling power for the viewers to spend money on, to travel to the location and see or experience them in person. According to definitions, the emotional benefits are different from the functional benefits of a product. They are the subjectively experienced contribution to the quality of life conveyed by the product or the place of purchase, or a positive feeling when purchase or use a particular product or brand. They add richness and depth to the experience of owning and using a particular product. In the business world, the customer's consumption experience consists of a series of elements, including two important ones, emotional and functional. Emotional benefits are about feelings and emotions, such as feeling optimistic, liked, comfortable, feel in control, free, and so on. Opposite to emotional benefits is the actual functioning of the consumption, such as price, physical products, and process, and value for money, etc. Other than the functional and emotional values that affect consumer choice behavior, Sheth Newman's gross model of consumption proposes three more value dimensions. They are social, such as images, or epistemic values, such as novelty and curiosity, and conditional items, such as physical content, 60, environment. Any or all of the five consumption values may influence the decision-making of consumers. This diagram shows how the external reality is digested, processed by the brain internally, and produces a mental image, and ultimately determines the decision-making and satisfaction of the visitors. In Van Gogh Museum, the external images as the visual input together with the other sensory inputs such as sound, touch, taste are absorbed by the mind of the viewers. These inputs will be blended with the existing memories, previous experiences and perceptions the viewers have in their mind, which are called neurocorrelative consciousness, and produce new perceived images, feelings, and perceived value of the objects. In tourism, this could be perceived as a tourism destination image (TDI). At the next level, these will in turn determine the intention and expectation of the viewers to travel to the location and to see the images in person. They will also be the major factors in determining the ultimate satisfaction of the viewers when they see these images in person. It is important to note that many of the emotional attributes are real and in general reflect reality, but they do not equal reality. This perceived reality is called perception and is defined as the process by which people translate sensory impressions into a coherent and unified view of the world around them. Many of the perceptions are also based on incomplete and unverified or unreliable information. In the context of tourism marketing, perception is considered as a major influential predictor in directing decision-making and consumer behavior. In the same vein, tourists' expectations and satisfaction with a product are often perceived reality instead of objective reality. Customer expectation refers to the total perceived benefits a customer expects from a company's product or service. Tourist satisfaction is therefore the interaction between a tourist's experience at the destination area and the expectations he had about the destination. In order to meet and exceed customers' expectations and close the gaps between expectation and satisfaction, marketers need to know where they stand in the expectation, perception, and satisfaction games. In summary, 1. Expectations are not always realistic. 2. Expectations can shape our view of reality. 3. Expectations have gaps with both perceived reality and real reality. 5. Satisfaction or dissatisfaction is determined if expectation exceeds or is below perceived performance. 6. When the weighted total sum of experiences exceeds the expectations, the tourists are satisfied. When the tourists' actual experiences fall below the expectation, they are dissatisfied. As shown in this diagram, the comparison between yellow and red lines determines satisfaction or dissatisfaction. Tourists and see are dissatisfied because no matter where the blue line is, actual performance when the red line, perceived performance, is lower than the yellow line, expectation, they are dissatisfied. Tourist BDE are satisfied because the red line is higher than the yellow line. In tourist D's case, expectations can even exceed reality. Incorporating all these ideas and concepts into marketing, marketers and researchers proposed the terms emotional branding and dream marketing, or the like. Mark Gobbe created the concept of emotional branding 15 years ago. It is the process of forming a relationship between a consumer and a product or brand by provoking their emotions. Marketers achieve this by creating content that appeals to the consumer's emotional state, ego, needs, and aspirations. Similarly, dream marketing, coined by Guianial in 1999, refers to where brand management is elevated to an art form, requiring artists, market sociologists, and executives to conjure up images that take hold in the consumer's collective consciousness and to attract interest in products and services that will set tomorrow's trends. Finally, let us look at one of the greatest dream sellers of all time, Apple. People used to think of Apple as a product-first technology company. But it is abundantly clear Apple is not only a product, not even a brand or a company. It is an ecosystem, a community, and an indispensable part of many people's lives. Apple shaped much of the world we find ourselves in today. It combines products and services that is ideally suited to the evolving experience economy. Apple as a company is obsessed with the user experience, and this attitude came straight from Steve Jobs, the founder and innovator of Apple. Jobs was the best dream seller we had. Here are some famous quotes from Steve Jobs. We can see from these quotes how he had transformed physical products and services and their functional attributes and benefits to bringing emotional benefits and aspirations to life. Steve Jobs had a dream, that is to put a computer in the hands of everyday people. He has never underestimated the power of the dream to move a brand forward. Steve Jobs did not sell computers, he was selling dreams and emotional benefits that can improve their lives. Steve Jobs was known for the phrase, enriching lives, and to this day many Apple executives still use the phrase. Being guided by a set of higher values, Steve constantly challenged the conventional. He pushed to make the computer what it is today by saying no to what existed and yes to finding a way to what he dreamed. To Steve Jobs, people who buy Apple products are not consumers. They are people with hopes, dreams, and ambitions. There are very few people in the world today more closely associated with innovation than Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs said, "Some people say give the customers what they want. But that's not my approach. Our job is to figure out what they're going to want before they do. People don't know what they want until you show it to them. You have to cast vision for your life and for the work you do. Vision will pull you towards a great future." Create beauty. Steve didn't want Apple products to just function properly. He wanted them to inspire the people who bought them. Whatever you do, make it beautiful. No matter how small. Create something beautiful and make it work. Create an experience. He knows experience is something that can endure, not a product. Everything Apple does creates an experience. For the place they work to the store that sells their products. Steve Jobs realized that the end-user experience was the most important piece of the puzzle. Steve Jobs not only represents a brand but actually a generation of users who follow in the footsteps of his creativity. The impact that Jobs has had on everyone's lives can never be overestimated. Although you're not always aware of it, his innovations have affected everything around you, from movies to computers, music, and mobile phones. He didn't sell computers. He was selling the promise of a better world. In fact, Jobs truly does believe that his customers and employees have the ability to make great and amazing changes in the world through the use of Apple computers. The answer to today's first question should be, in selling tourism products and in order to utilize and maximize the emotional benefit of the products, marketers should try to emotionalize customers. Distinguish themselves from the competitors and which manifest internationally a concept unique to the products and services and ardently appeal to a customer's imagination and desires. That's all for today. We have learned 4 topics today. Selling dreams, selling images, selling emotional benefits, managing expectations and customer satisfaction. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy the lesson. Next session will be the first few topics of Outcome 1. Evaluating the nature of travel and tourism products and/or services. Please do not forget to subscribe to their channel for more lessons to come. See you next time.